going, superstars and divas? It is your favorite diva, K Sparks here, and wow is all I can say about Monday Night Raw tonight, so let me get right to it. Monday Night Raw was kicked off by the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, he came out and he cut an awesome promo as I expected he would. He didn't even start with Brock Lesnar's opponents at Fastlane. Actually, he started with the Wyatt family. So the Wyatt family is still having a role when it comes to Brock Lesnar, and I am sticking to my guns. I am sticking with my prediction that the Wyatt family will mess with Brock Lesnar at Fastlane. So that is the prediction I am sticking with, because they are really talking about the beef that's going on, this big rivalry that's going on between Brock Lesnar and the Wyatt family. So Paul Heyman, he talked about what the Wyatt family did at the Royal Rumble. Then he talks about Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, which is hit Brock Lesnar's opponents at Fastlane. And then he didn't really go too bad on Roman Reigns. He actually started dissing Dean Ambrose really bad, because Roman Reigns, he already went against Brock Lesnar before last year at WrestleMania. So of course, Heyman, he started dogging my baby. He started dogging Dean Ambrose, calling him stupid and crazy, and talking about a short yellow bus and all this, that, and the other. But he is cut off by the Intercontinental Champion, Dean Ambrose. So Dean Ambrose was not too happy about what Paul Heyman was saying about him. First thing Dean Ambrose says when he comes into the ring was, "Who you calling a nut job, Porky?" So Dean Ambrose, he cuts his own little promo against Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. It was really good, you guys. I can't say it word for word what he said, but he was basically telling Brock and Heyman, like, you know what? I may look crazy, but I'm not crazy. But he does have respect for Brock Lesnar. That's why he wanted to come out there and tell it to Brock Lesnar's face that he wants that title. He is willing to fight his own brother for it. He is willing to fight Lesnar for it. Does he want to fight Lesnar for it? No. Who would? And he has a point there. Who would want to fight Brock Lesnar? But apparently the Wyatt family does. But that's another story. So Dean Ambrose, he actually calls, when he comes to the ring, he actually says, "I wanted to know what it's like to be in the lair of the Beast." And he actually calls it cozy. So Dean Ambrose, a lot of people would think Dean is really crazy for doing this. But Dean Ambrose, he actually lets Brock knows that, I know you guys, I know I'm going to get a beating from you at Fastlane. I know I'm going to get a beating from Roman Reigns at Fastlane. But he actually tells Brock, he encourages Brock to give him the best beating, worst beating that he has ever given. Because Dean Ambrose calls himself the Iron Man of the WWE. Because night in and night out, whether he's injured or not, Dean Ambrose fights his matches. He doesn't take time off. He fights his matches. And if you try to use what happened to him last year not last year, it was the year before then, in 2014, try to use his whole not being on TV after getting curb stomped through the cinder blocks, you all know that is because he had to go shoot his movie. So that was not because due to an injury. But you all have seen, when Dean Ambrose is injured, he still fights. So I believe him when he says he is the Iron Man of WWE, because that's true. He does fight, even when he's injured. And he actually says he will drag his broken body to WrestleMania and take the title from Triple H. So he just said, out of respect, he wanted to come out to the ring and tell Lesnar this. And he actually told Paul he wanted to see what the fuss was about, and actually exits the ring without an attack from Brock Lesnar. And while Dean Ambrose is walking away, you can see Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar having a little conversation between themselves about Dean. But Brock actually says that there's going to be a lot more fussing tonight. So I'm pretty sure this is not the last time we are going to see Brock Lesnar in that ring. So pretty good start to Raw. First match of the night, we had Kalisto versus Rusev. This was a very great match. Rusev, he dominated a good proportion of the match, but do not count Kalisto out, because even though Rusev was getting a good proportion of the match to his side, like he was getting a lot of momentum, but at the end of it, Kalisto does win, but he wins by countout. And that's because he attacked Rusev outside of the ring. I think he pretty much like suplexed him, Hurricane Rana Rusev into the barricade right next to where Alberto Del Rio, who was on commentary, he Hurricane Rana's, I don't know why I keep saying suplex, maybe because I'm still thinking about the interaction between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. But he Hurricane Rana's Rusev into the barricade right next to Alberto Del Rio, and he hurries up and gets in the ring, and that is how Kalisto's able to get his victory. And he gets out of the ring before Alberto Del Rio tries to attack him. Next we had some backstage segments. We had Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns there in the office talking to Stephanie McMahon. She's gloating. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's actually trying to turn Dean and Roman against each other. Like, it's not the first time somebody tries to do this. But, you know, she tries to turn them against each other, and, you know, it wasn't working. They let her know it wasn't working. They're best friends. It's not going to work. Whatever her plans, whatever she was trying to do, it's not going to work. And she actually pairs up Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns for the main event tonight against the tag team champions, The New Day. And then she dismisses them. And next, after their backstage segment between Stephanie and Roman and Dean, we have an interview between Renee Young and Brie Bella. She starts talking about Nikki and everything. She is cut off by Charlotte, and Charlotte starts dissing Nikki Bella and saying that only thing Nikki's going to be able to do now is online shopping. And Brie was not too happy about that, so it looks like we're going to have a match between those two later on in the night. Next match we had, it is the Usos versus Curtis Axel and Adam Rose. This was a pretty good match. This match actually ends with the Usos connecting with a double kick, followed by a frog splash onto Adam Rose, and that is how the Usos was able to pick up the victory. Jay was the one that connected with the splash, and that is how the Usos won it. There was actually no Bo Dallas tonight with the Social Outcast, so I don't know where Bo Dallas is. And you know, it was a little weird seeing just three of them, but you know, we'll probably be seeing them on SmackDown or next week. Next we have Miz TV. Miz TV, he actually is able to finish his introduction of his guest tonight. His guest was the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. And AJ Styles, he comes down to the ring. He's expected to tell his life story about who he is and where he came from, his career. AJ doesn't get to tell his career at all. Miz does it. Miz doesn't even give AJ Styles a mic. So Miz is telling his whole story and just continues. And when AJ tries to talk, Miz moves the mic away from AJ and continues to talk and talk and talk. And the crowd gets behind AJ Styles, and Miz just starts dissing him. Because Miz actually tried to get AJ to think of him as a mentor or something, because he brings up once again that Daniel Bryan was the protege of The Miz, and he says that he made the career of Daniel Bryan. He actually calls himself the father of the Yes Movement. Please, Miz, get out of here with that. And the audience actually chants no for that. They chant no, like, you are not the father of the Yes Movement, so please stop what you're doing. Really, just stop. And Miz, he gets really, really angry. He starts dissing AJ Styles. He's like, who the heck is AJ Styles anyway? And he starts dissing him like super bad. Like AJ may have been a big fish in a small pond. He's talking about when he was in the Indies. But he says that big fish is now in the ocean and they are sharks. So he basically just calls AJ a fish, and he's not a shark at all. When last week he was called a pit bull by Chris Jericho. But, you know, Miz, he kept dissing him and this, that, and the other. And he says, does AJ Styles have a chance in the WWE? He actually quotes Mr. McMahon's song. He says, no chance in hell. And when he turns around, he is actually punched in the face by AJ Styles, and AJ Styles just goes off on the Miz. He punches him, he's throwing chairs, and he punches Miz more and more and more to the point that Miz gets out of the ring and runs up the ramp. So you better watch yourself, Miz. You may think that AJ Styles is a little fish, but this guy is a shark as well, and this is not a guy you want to mess with. So I'm pretty sure this is not the last time we are going to see AJ Styles and The Miz in that ring together. And most likely we will see these guys against each other rather than on friendly terms like on tonight, like in the beginning of Miz TV. But next match we have, it is actually Brie Bella versus Charlotte. So we did get that match, and this was a pretty good match. Charlotte, she was mocking Nikki in the beginning, and she kept talking smack to Brie about Nikki. And at the end of near the end of this match, actually, Ric Flair, he got on the apron and to distract the referee, while Brie Bella had Charlotte in a sleeper hold. And Ric Flair, he just wouldn't get off the apron. No matter if Alicia Fox, she actually tried to pull Ric Flair off the apron, but he kicked at her, and he just remained on the apron. Even when Charlotte was able to counter the sleeper hold, he still stayed on the apron. And Charlotte actually tried to go for her figure 8 submission hold on Brie Bella. Brie Bella pulled her head down, and she went for the roll up. Brie got the 1, she got the 2, she got the 3. Brie Bella picks up the victory. So it actually backfired on the Flairs tonight. So congrats to Brie Bella. And she may actually start to get into the title run since she pinned the champion tonight. So we're going to see what happens there. Next we have a match is between the Big Show versus Eric Rowan. This was a quick match because I already had a feeling that Big Show, he was going to dominate this match, and he did. There was some interference by Harper and Braun Strowman. Bray Wyatt was not here tonight. I don't know why, but he wasn't here tonight. But I do see that he is going to be with the Wyatt family on SmackDown. But at the end of this match, Big Show, he grabbed Eric Rowan by the throat and gave him a huge choke slam. Big Show got the 1, he got the 2, he got the 3. Big Show is your winner. But the celebration did not last too long because the Buzzards, being that the way they are, they had the numbers game, and they completely took down the Big Show. They gave him a complete beat down, and I knew this was going to happen if the Big Show stayed in the ring, and what I predicted came true. They beat him down. They each took turns doing some attack maneuvers. They pulled Big Show out of the ring. They still kept attacking him, and they actually slammed him on the steps. They took apart some steel steps, and they slammed the Big Show on top of those steps. So I guess even though Big Show won the match, he still didn't get as much as momentum as the Wyatt family did. And that's also gearing up that Big Show may be facing off against Braun Strowman at the next pay-per-view. So we're going to have to see there. But I believe that's going to be the next matchup. And if the Wyatt family members do not keep attacking Big Show, I believe Big Show can take on Braun Strowman. Because every time Big Show and Braun Strowman, they have a stare down with each other, there's always Eric Rowan or Luke Harper or both of them attacking Big Show from behind, like what happened tonight. So, I'm hoping these two do have a match because that is something I really, really want to see. I am sick and tired of the other two Wyatt family members getting involved when it comes to Big Show and Braun Strowman. I want to see these two face off against each other without the other two getting attacking Big Show from behind. So, let's hope and hope and hope that we will get that match probably by the next pay-per-view. So, next we have a match between Titus O'Neil and Tyler Breeze. This was a pretty back and forth match. Tyler Breeze, he was able to gain a lot of momentum during this match, but at the end of it, Titus O'Neil, he caught him with the Clash of the Titus. And Titus got the 1, he got the 2, he got the 3. Titus O'Neil is your winner tonight. Next, we have a match. Actually, before the next match, we had another backstage segment. It was Brock Lesnar. He was talking to Paul Heyman, and in comes Triple H. Triple H dismisses Paul Heyman, and they have him and Brock Lesnar. They have a little bit of a stare down, and Triple H actually calls out Brock Lesnar about what happened between him and Dean Ambrose. He says that did he see what he thought he saw? Did he see Brock Lesnar have little bitty Dean Ambrose come up to him and leave to tell the tale? Leave alive to tell the tale? He actually said, is it getting soft in Suplex City? So he's basically calling Brock Lesnar, he's basically challenging Brock Lesnar of getting soft. And Brock basically responded like, I guess we'll find out at WrestleMania. And Triple H's like, yeah, I guess we will. I'm looking forward to it. So, that's setting up for a potential match between these two. I'm not really sure about it myself, but hey, I'm still Team Ambrose here, you guys. But, of course, Brock Lesnar is going to be the one that's very confident that he's going to be moving on to WrestleMania. But the next match we have, it is Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Great match between these two. But last few times that Dolph Ziggler went against Kevin Owens, he wasn't doing so well. He wasn't really able to beat Kevin Owens. And he actually promised tonight that this match would end with a super kick. But at the end of this match, actually, this match does win. Dolph Ziggler connects with the zigzag, and he was able to get the 1, to get the 2, to get the 3. Dolph Ziggler pins Kevin Owens, and he picks up the victory. So, congrats to Dolph Ziggler. I already knew you could do it. I already always have faith in Dolph Ziggler, even though people try to count him out and say he's not going to beat him. He's not going to beat him. But I knew he could do it. Next, we have a match between another Divas match. It is Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks, she comes down to the ring and she lets people know that the boss is back and she has her eyes set on that Divas Championship. She doesn't care if Becky Lynch is still trying to get another rematch for the title. She doesn't care if Brie Bella is trying to go for the title since she pinned Charlotte earlier this night. She says she is going for that title. And she is actually cut off by Naomi and Tamina, and they actually come down to the ring and they have a little conversation, and it looks like Naomi and Tamina are not too happy about Sasha just breaking off against the group like she did. And Sasha lets them know, like, hey, we may be competitors. This is the reason I came to the WWE, to get the Divas Championship. And she's like, we may be competitors, but we can still be sisters. I'm not so sure about that, Charlotte. I'm not so sure about that because that's not always how things work when it comes to that Divas Championship. But, you know, they did their unity. They did their unity symbol. And next we have the match between Sasha and Becky Lynch. It was a pretty back and forth match. Becky, she got a little dominated in this match, but she did make a comeback. And during this match, actually, Becky is dumped. She is kicked to the outside of the ring. And Tamina and Naomi, they grab Becky Lynch like they're about to hit her. But, you know, the ref can still see you. The ref can still see you guys trying to hit her. And Sasha, she comes to Tamina and Naomi, and she lets them know, like, hey, I got this. You guys can go to the back. I got this. And Sasha Banks, she let them know, like, I don't need you guys. Go on to the back. I don't need you. And she tosses Becky Lynch back in the ring. But Naomi and Tamina, they were not too happy about what Sasha Banks said. So what they do? They grab Sasha Banks' legs. Referee sees this, he calls for the bell, and it looks like Becky Lynch is the one that gets disqualified in this matchup, since Sasha Banks is the one that gets attacked and not Becky. So they start double teaming Sasha Banks, and Becky, she's not too happy about what they're doing, nor the fact that she just got disqualified because of these two. She jumps in as well, and they actually, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, they team up together, and, you know, they chase off Naomi and Tamina, and these two are the ones that's standing tall in the ring. So I'm pretty sure we may have a tag team match this SmackDown, this Thursday on SmackDown. Hopefully, I really want to see these four go at it in a match. So, next, we have a interview. It is Renee Young. She's interviewing Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho talked about what happened between himself and AJ Styles last week, and it looks like he still has some interest in AJ Styles. And we did learn that AJ Styles will be facing The Miz this Thursday on SmackDown. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, so AJ Styles can really shut up The Miz. And Chris Jericho also said that he will be paying special attention to the match between AJ Styles and The Miz. So it looks like Chris Jericho, he definitely has that target set on AJ Styles. He wants that other rematch, another match against AJ Styles. So we'll see if that happens. We also have a backstage segment. We had a lot of backstage segments, but that's to be expected on Raw. We had a backstage segment with R-Truth and Goldust. Goldust, it was actually happening in the bathroom. And R-Truth, he was opening the door to go into the stall, but he finds Goldust sitting on the toilet with his feet on the toilet seat, and one of his feet actually slips and falls into the toilet, which is a little gross. And so Goldust, he just tries and tries and tries to get R-Truth to be his partner. But R-Truth said no. He just kept saying that he doesn't want to team with Goldust because he's a weirdo. And he says that Goldust has doo-doo on his foot because he fell into the toilet. And that was an accident, Truth. Don't hold that against him. But Goldust brings up Truth's former partner, Little Jimmy. Now, if you guys remember Little Jimmy, it's R-Truth's imaginary friend. And Truth, he says, like, that's cold. That's cold. That cuts me. So it seems like R-Truth's feelings were hurt, and he walked off from that. But, you know, Goldust, he tried to make up for it, but, you know, Truth was already gone. So, you know, I don't think those two are going to work as tag team partners. And I still believe they are setting up for Goldust to team back up with his brother, Cody Rhodes. I'm still holding on to that, you guys. Next, we have Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus The New Day. This is our main event. the tag team champions come out and they start talking about The Rock. Once again, they say they're going to take out... They had a little fun, though. They still had a little fun, joking and being playful and, still trying to diss people. But they said they were going to take out Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. They called Romans all kind of names. They called Dean Ambrose all kind of names. And I'm pretty sure those guys are going to they're going to regret those words. But at the end of it, Roman Reigns, he comes down to the ring. Dean Ambrose comes down to the ring. We get into the match. Great match between these two teams. It was really great. We did have some interference by Xavier Woods as expected, because Xavier Woods, he does get involved in a lot of the New Day matches, if not all of them. And this was this was a great match. I enjoyed it. And actually, during the match one time, Big E actually starts spanking Dean Ambrose. Generally he would slap their sides, to say New Day Rocks, New Day Rocks. But this time he was actually spanking Dean Ambrose on the butt. Literally spanking him on the butt. And that's a little disturbing to Dean Ambrose female fans. It's a little disturbing for us to see. But Dean Ambrose, he actually started noticing what Big E was doing as well. He's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? So he gets out of that predicament, that position that he was in while Big E was spanking him, and he actually starts biting Dean Ambrose actually starts biting Big E in the face. So there's some payback for spanking him on the butt like he's some kind of kid. So that's how that was a little weird during that match. But at the end of this match, I have to say that Roman Reigns, there was a lot of chaos going on at the end of it. Roman Reigns was able to connect with a Superman punch to Kofi Kingston, but those two were not the legal ones. Dean Ambrose and Big E were. But Dean Ambrose, he was able to connect with his finisher, the Dirty Deeds, on Big E. And Dean Ambrose got the 1, he got the 2, he got the 3. My baby picks up the win tonight. So, of course, after this match, as soon as Dean got his title and they said who the winners were, boom, here comes Brock Lesnar. And also during this match, we had Paul Heyman on commentary. And of course, I knew with Paul Heyman on commentary, I knew Brock Lesnar was never that far behind. And Brock Lesnar, he comes down to the ring, but before he actually makes it to the ring, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are attacked from behind by New Day, because Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, they were ready for him. They were ready for Brock to come to the ring, but they're attacked from behind, and Xavier, he was trying to beat on Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns, he was taking on Kofi Kingston. Roman and Kofi exit the ring, and they still start battling. And Xavier Woods, he's caught with, I guess its official title is the Lunatic Lariat. And that's when Dean Ambrose, he tater-tots on the ring, on the ropes, sorry. He tater-tots on the rope, he springs back on the ropes, comes back in and hits you with a clothesline. But while he was doing that, in comes Brock Lesnar, he grabs Dean Ambrose and hits him with a F5. Brock Lesnar, he shrugs his shoulder and he leaves the ring. And that's basically how Raw ends, because Roman Reigns was taken out by Kofi Kingston. And he's outside on the floor. So Brock Lesnar's the one that gains the momentum this week on Raw. So, that was how Raw ended. In my opinion, you guys, I actually think this was my theory. But Dean Ambrose he actually came up with a clever strategy tonight. Going out there and talking to Brock Lesnar face to face. A lot of people think it's crazy. I think it's gutsy, and it was very smart. And even Paul Heyman said it on commentary tonight. Dean Ambrose is crazy as a fox, and that's a good thing. He's crazy as a fox because he's smart. He's smart. And the reason I say that is because Dean Ambrose, he came up with this awesome strategy by talking to Brock tonight. He came out to the ring, got in his face, let him know what he plans to do, and just walked off. And Brock Lesnar, he came and hit him with the F5. Sure, you guys may think that's a not so smart strategy, but if you think about it, it is. It really is, because it's a good strategy, because Dean Ambrose does what he does best. He built up resilience. You know, he built up that resilience. He built up that resilience against Kevin Owens F5. He built up against Kevin Owens pop-up powerbomb, and he's going to do the same thing with Brock Lesnar. He got in his head, people. He got in his head, and even though it may not seem like he got in his head, he did. Because why would he just go after Dean? Because Dean's the one that went after him. He went up to him at the beginning of the show. Dean took that F5 so he can see if he can handle it. If he will be able to handle that F5 when Fastlane comes. And if Brock tries to pin him at Fastlane, Dean can kick out. So he's building up that resiliency to the F5. He'll build up that resiliency to the suplexes that Brock Lesnar will give him. He's being smart about this, you guys. He's not being crazy. He's being smart. He has this great strategy. So I am excited to see how Dean Ambrose is going to build this resiliency more and more, because this is going to be a great, great match. I love it. And sure, you guys are going to say I'm being biased because I'm a Dean Ambrose fan, but it's not biased at all. It's him being smart. He builds up that resiliency against the F5 and the suplexes. He will be good. And Brock Lesnar, he's going to be surprised. So keep on. Bring on the F5s. Bring on the suplexes. Dean Ambrose, my baby, is going to take him and then build up that resiliency. And it's going to be good at Fastlane, you guys. So, that's what happened on Raw tonight. We're going to have a pretty good SmackDown this Thursday. I'm aware of that. So, I'm excited for what happened on Raw tonight. Let me know what you guys thought about it. What you think about Dean Ambrose going up to Brock Lesnar and talking all that smack. Do you think it was smart? Do you think it was gutsy? Do you think it was crazy? Do you think it was stupid? What do you guys think? Tell me your predictions. Tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this whole triple threat match. Just talk to me, guys. Let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. And until next time, everyone, I am Kay Sparks. See ya!